Else in the call? There it goes.
I can hear people's. Yes.
It didn't see all the little icons at the bottom. I was worried.
Yeah, I didn't either.
You guys can hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Good. All right. Let me just set my laptop so it does not time out. So if you guys want to send me messages, I can actually see.
Yep, be right back.
Let's see. Okay. All right. All right, so when we get to the first screen, it's quite large. So just be aware. I'll move you guys to where you need to be. I need to get up my notes. Let's see.
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, good.
You guys hear the background noise or music?
Yep.
Well, dude, just turn it down. It's too loud, yo.
Hey, Nick,
Yep.
how do I make everybody's icon smaller? It's like taking up my whole screen.
Click on the little cogwheel thing. Scroll down. You should see player avatar size. I just changed mine to names only.
There we go.
Alrighty, let's see. You may notice that your macros are not where they used to be. The ones that had them before should be able to see them again in that little macro drop down at the top. Then you can just click on add in bar or whatever, and then show the macro bar at the bottom. Bob, yours should now work where if you click on Melvin and click on the light cantrip and click on light cantrip end, it should make it so you can still see instead of just go completely black. It should work.
Okay, I don't see where the macros are.
It's that little list right next to the cogwheel at the top of the screen.
Labeled collection.
Gotcha. Okay.
The end turn one should also be in there too. All right, I may just finish getting set up here. All right, that. Okay. Okay. All right, everybody ready?
Ready.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Something.
All right. So last we left off, you guys had just been. You were invited to a party at Halia Thornton's in Phandalin, where you found out that she sold you out to some dark cloaked figures, trying to usurp the power that you guys have gained in the building of Phandalin, or rebuilding of Phandalin. In that time, that you have no idea how long you've been out. It's probably been a few days, up to maybe a week or so. And you woke up finding yourself inside of a very dimly lit, looks like a cave, with a bunch of odd-looking creatures in there with you. Not your entire party came with you, as others had other agendas that they were on. But the majority of the core group is still there. So you know that you were captured by Drow. You know that they have some type of poison that's on their crossbow bolts, and that they several of you have been knocked out several times in this time from them. I think Ted Nug was the last time. And Melvin punched a deep gnome in the face the first day that he woke up for being a smartass. So, it's taken about, you guys have been in there about 3 days or so. And during this time, you've met several key figures of this, what you've kind of figured out was a Drow outpost. There is looks like a priestess of Lolth. Seems to be the ruling person of the area. And always next to her side is what appears to be a high-ranking lieutenant or something like that. He's fairly young for a Drow. And then there's also several other Drow that you've seen going about. In the 3 days that you've been there, the first day you were all very groggy, so you haven't really had a chance to do much or really gather your senses. But the second and third days, you've been made to do menial tasks with the other prisoners in the cave. And as menial tasks, I mean things such as coiling and uncoiling rope, emptying the chamber pots that are in your slave pen, cleaning out the Quagoth's cave. And for those that aren't aware, the Quagoths are like a hulking beast, like from X-Men. That's what they kind of look like. So they're hairy, apey looking things. You have one in there with you, by the way. Let's see. You've been made to massage the priestess's feet and then scrub the floor over and over and over again until it's clean, and it's extremely hard to do because these are mud floors, dirt floors. So, I will start it off. Not everybody in here speaks Common. But you have noticed in the 2 days that you've been there, there's a small myconid that, as you all gather around him, the first day it was kind of frightening for you guys because he kind of waddled his way up to you Just think of Toad from Mario waddling his way up, and then he kind of just shakes a bit, and then all these spores come out about him, and they go up in your nose, and you feel it tingling in your brain. Somehow, when he does this, everybody can communicate silently with each other, even though you don't speak any of the same languages. Or you may not. But he introduces, well, it introduces itself as Stool. And he says that he was brought away from his home, and the others obviously have been captured as well. From what you've gleaned, this is a slave pen, and the purpose of this outpost is to contain and gather slaves for the Drow slave trade. You found out that the 4 key figures that are here in the outpost, the priestess, her name is Ilvara. What's her last name? Ilvara Mizrim, and her family is known throughout the area to be expert slavers, very wicked, mean, merciless. There is another priestess below her that doesn't quite walk around with the same type of air. Her name is Asha Vanderi. The Drow lieutenant that has been going around with Ilvara is Shore, and he seems to have taken the place of another high-ranking warrior by the name of Jorlin. And you know this because the Drow that you're imprisoned with has told you that Jorlin used to be the cohort of, or I guess I should say mate for Ilvara, until he went out on a mission, came back completely disfigured after having been in a fight with a gray ooze. So his face is all kind of scrunched up, and his whole left side of his body is burned and scarred and kind of withered. Let's see. What else? While in the pen, you've noticed that there are always 3 guards in the watchtower across from you. It is actually a hanging stalactite that is connected to the ledge by a rope bridge. And the first things that you guys tried to do when you first got in is cast spells. You noticed that you can't. No spells can be cast while inside the slave pen. Another thing that you noticed when you woke up is everybody has iron collars around their necks, and they also have an iron belt around their midsection and manacles that are linked to the belt by a short chain. Does not impede you from walking or anything, but it is loud. You still can have full use of your hands and everything as well. Essentially, it marks you as a slave. What else?
Can you list all who all is in there in the room?
Yep.
With us?
Yep. So, in the group with you guys, when you arrived, you met a Darrow by the name of Boopido. He's a very crazed-looking, skinny dwarf without a beard, essentially, is what he looks like. There's a Quaigoth. He takes up a big chunk of the room. He's probably a little bit bigger than Tednug. But he is convinced and tries to convince everyone else that he is actually an Elvish prince who is polymorphed into this form, and he's trying to get back. There's a female dwarf soldier by the name of Eldeth Feldrin. She's trying to get back to Gauntlgrim. That's where she was taken from while she was out on a patrol. There's a deep gnome, an older deep gnome by the name of Jimjar. He's the guy that got punched in the face. There's a very bullyish type of orc that within the past couple days has tried to pick fights with you guys. He doesn't really want to talk. He's trying to assert dominance over everyone, essentially. There is a drow in there by the name of Sereth Kizkaret. He was put in there because he was accused of murdering another drow, and he does not remember doing so. So he's afraid that he might have actually done it, but he believes more so that he's actually being framed. There's an odd-looking creature, looks like a big walking fish, named Shushar. And let's see, there's the Myconid Sprout, the little guy that looks like a mushroom, named Stool. And then there are two smaller deep gnomes, or spermephiblin, or however you pronounce it.
Pronounce it right.
Topsy and Turvy. They're brother and sister twins, and the boy is kind of more dark and reserved and doesn't talk much, but when he does, his sister kind of repeats or finishes his sentences and things like that. So they both act very similar, kind of skittish, but she is a lot more talkative and social than he is. There was also it looks like a giant raven in there with you. He seemed to kind of keep to himself for the most part. And then that is everybody that's actually in there with you. All right. So we're actually going on to day 4. And are you guys ready? Do you have any questions before I bring it over, I should say?
I want to say something. The people who know me in there, Melvin doesn't have any of his stuff with him, right?
Right.
Going to have Ben pretend that he's actually blind since he looks like it. That maybe it'll give him an advantage later on down the road. And he lets Smoke, Diane, and Ted Nug know that's what he's doing.
Okay.
All right.
I'm just asking to make sure Undercommon is a different language than Common.
It is, yes. Yep. So,
but we're hiring mushrooms so we can understand each other.
Yeah. The thing is, you've noticed that the mushroom, the little Myconid Stool, he can only do this about 3 times a day, and it only lasts for about an hour. So.
Wow, that's.
Oh, okay.
And I imagine most of the guards don't even speak Common that they can tell you.
Most of them don't. There are a few that come up that can. Any other questions?
Do the gnomes Undercommon, or do they speak gnome, or do they have a different language of themselves?
It should be listed on their sheet.
Well, if he doesn't have it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They speak. One of them, I believe, speaks Common. No, I think they all do. But they speak Undercommon and Gnomish as well.
Regular Gnomish?
And Terran.
Yep. Oh, yeah, and Terran. Yep.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions? Good questions, by the way.
I'm assuming have we met the other characters, or I'm guessing they're somewhere else with the new player, the new.
They have not arrived yet.
Okay, gotcha.
One thing to know about the map, it's kind of split into two sections. At the top half is going to be where your characters are, but on the bottom half, you're going to see that you guys are actually quite high up on a ledge. You're built into a cliffside, essentially. And this kind of gives you a 3D view of what you're seeing head on instead of top down too. So that'll be at the very bottom of the screen. Pay no attention to the spider that's down there. It's only so I could actually allow you guys to see it. So
It's a friendly spider.
Oh, I don't see any of that.
yeah, I haven't moved it yet.
Oh, okay. Should we adjust our ACs so we don't have any armor on anymore?
We'll get there if we need to. I wouldn't worry about it right now.
Say pull me to where we're at, but it probably won't work because I don't have a character, or does it work like that?
You should still be able to see your NPC character.
Okay, there we go. Sorry, I had to zoom out way far.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a very large.
Did you hear me, Nick?
map.
You kind of broke up on me. I didn't.
Oh, what'd you say?
Should we adjust our ACs since we don't have an armor on them?
Well,
Oh, no, I said don't worry about that for right now. If we need to, then your AC will just be 10 plus your dex or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Also, while in the past couple of nights, Melvin's been having nightmares increasingly. The first night, as he woke up and then fell back asleep, he dreamt of oily tentacles wrapping around his ankles out of the darkness. And then the second night, he kept dreaming of loud buzzing and howling of dogs or coyotes way out in the background in the darkness. All right, and let's see.
Tentacles and coyotes. Okay.
Okay, and as I said, there's no real way, well, I don't think I actually said, but there is no real way of telling what time of day it is. So you guys kind of fall asleep or catch rest whenever you are able to. There's no way of telling time in this area. It seems like there's always patrols and things like that going on. But today, there's a, let's see here, hold on just a second.
Headnut's already doing flips.
I see that.
I'm not flipping.
Is the map really low res for anyone else too right now?
It is not, it's not a very good map.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see. Okay, so you hear voices coming up. You hear the creaking of the bridge, and see two guards bringing two more prisoners. Let's see. You see a another tabaxi, and she gets thrown inside. And you see a strange-looking bird creature that does not look like the other bird that you are in the slave pen with. And he's pushed in there as well.
Pinches pendeos, quítame las malditas manos!
My eyes grow wide as I see him, and I instantly have wing envy.
Yeah. So you notice that he actually has wings and arms, but instead of hands, he has talons. And if anybody is actually looking over at the Raven-looking character, he starts to look kind of pissed and jealous.
I wrote
Because
a,
he does
Yeah,
not have wings.
a
I
description.
noticeably turn away from people and kind of face the wall and pretend to like think to myself.
I also want to say I don't think you introduced Quick Clack there.
Well, I did. He's one of the ones you're in there with.
Oh, which one was he? Oh, was he?
The
That's the
Raven.
bird. Oh, okay, gotcha.
So I've got a description before I do my other stuff, just so you'll know what my character looks like. It's like an anthropomorphic scarlet macaw. He has wings out of his back, so it's separate than his arms. From his elbows and knees down, it's just like any common bird. It lacks the feathers and has the talons. Most of his body is filled with bright red feathers, except for on his wings it goes to yellow, green, then blue at the tips of the feathers where they spread out. He has a gigantic beak, just like a regular parrot macaw, and on his face he's actually wearing a light blue mask with various white decorations on it, which doesn't cover his eyes or his beak. And of course the first thing I'm going to see is a lot of people and be like, "Hola amigos, do not fear, it is El Salvador Escarlata. I'm sure my reputation precedes me."
Or you can call him Sal.
Oh, not yet, not yet.
I know history.
So, since no one seems to react, he turns around, kind of dramatically. He swings his one of his right wing around like a cape, and he starts talking. "They don't know who I am? Surely you've got to be kidding me. So, intro number 14
And
sound
while
good?"
he's saying this, you see the drow kind of just looking at him like, "What the hell is he doing?"
Intro number 14 sound good? All right. You have this. Then he slaps his beaks a couple times, amping himself up, and turns around. "Señores, señoras, and señores, an up-and-coming talent from the barrio. This man who single-handedly stopped the Podre gang, the 3-time lightweight champion." His wings start flapping fiercely, and they spread out all dramatically around behind him. "El Salvador Escarlata!"
But you can call him Sal.
I begrudgingly clap.
Thank you. It is so gloomy in here. Well, hello, everybody. Introduce yourselves.
I am going to step up to him over here. And say, "I'm Ted Nug."
Hello, friendly Tenduk. What brings you here? I guess.
Well, last
That's
thing
a good
I remember, I was double fisting some ale, and I woke up here.
Oh, that's no good.
What brought you here?
I don't know quite either. I was doing one of my fateful performances in the arena, but afterwards in the locker room, it kind of got dark.
I see.
What is
Well-
the rest of this lively group here?
You see the little mushroom in the corner kind of jumping up and down. He's all excited. He hasn't had any excitement in this little pen.
So I walk up beside Ted Doug, and in a voice that you would never think would come out of the bird comes, "Hail, good to see you, brother." And then I walk back.
Hola, mi hermano. ¿Qué pasó?
I do not understand the language with which you speak, brother, but it sounds good.
No problemo.
Macho Man Randy Savage versus Luchador.
I just tell him find out the people's names here short enough.
All right. Thank you very much,
Walk
Mr.
back
Ted.
over to my, Actually, hold on. Before I do that, reach out for a handshake. And give a nice, good, firm squeeze of my handshake.
I, give him back as equal as he can.
All right. I turn around. He's cool. Don't worry.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, do we plan anything?
So shortly after the new arrivals come in, down the bridge you actually see Ilvara and Shore walking in tow right after. And you hear her speak something. Those of you that can speak, or your NPCs speak in Undercommon, know that she says that, let's see, that the great goddess Lolth has blessed them this month with a large catch, and that this might be well what she needed in order to rise in her house, and that this pitiful outpost is a mere stepping stone in her path to greatness. And you see that those that can understand it, which I don't think any of you can, but your NPCs probably do. He nods at her and kind of takes her by the arm, and as they walk on, she kind of glances at Sal and kind of gives you a sneer. And then they both walk off again.
I don't know if it's because of everything in here too, but everything seems kind of laggy.
Is everybody having that problem?
A little bit.
Not my model, but I think I noticed someone typing. Wait, or was that something else?
Yeah, typing, and I think when the characters move around sometimes too. Like, yeah, I'm trying to move mine right now, and it took them a second to move. I didn't flip them
Really?
either.
Okay. It
Yeah,
might be
it's
some of the
hitching.
add-on things.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna.
It's hitching a little bit, but
Let me try something here. I think I know what it is. It's a script that I was going to try out, but I don't have any real use for it currently. It's supposed to make it so if you trigger a trap, if your character walks over it, it'll automatically stop you and tell you what happened. But I think it's using too much resources, so let me turn it off in the background.
I get a feeling that it's specifically for me.
Okay, that may help, hopefully. So, did you guys want to talk with your NPCs at all, or have them do anything, or while you guys are in here?
Shuchar just sits and looks like he's meditating or something.
Okay.
Turvey is over here in the corner, mumbling to himself. Not actually saying anything, just kind of.
Jim Jar gets really loud with the group and says, "Hey, who wants to bet that we could, get out of here? 3 gold says we can make it out. 3 gold, anybody? 3 gold, come on."
Ted Duck says, 5 gold and we have a deal.
Oh, I like you, Ted Nug. You're gonna be buds. 5 gold it is. 5 gold. Anybody else? Anybody else want in on this biz?
Peter says he doesn't have any gold, but he knows how to get out of here. If we can get out of this cage.
We'll make some gold. Don't you worry. 5 gold it is. All right, Ted Nug. I'll catch you on that 5 gold. We're gonna get out of here. It's gonna be great.
All right.
Yep.
Wait, that next voting it, or it's betting against
You're
it.
robot-y.
Robot bloke.
Damn it.
Cursing robot blade. Stop world.
Okay. All you say is Ted Nug's betting against getting out.
Right now, yeah.
Rest in peace, Ted Nug.
Ted Nug has abandoned all hope. He's a nihilist at heart.
That's not the Ted Nug I know.
Hey, we'll get out. Just maybe not that guy.
So if you guys zoom all the way out, you should see something at the bottom of the map.
Bottom
That
left.
kind of shows you. Yes, the bottom left.
Oh.
Holy crap.
Kind of shows you what it looks like from the front view.
So is that like where we're at?
Yeah, where it says party, if you can see that.
Oh, wow. That's us?
Yep.
Yep, we're in that like cage thing.
Right, yep. So
Okay.
you're right on the edge of a kind of a cliff, if you can see.
Yes,
And
yes,
right in front of you is the giant stalactite, which is where the guards and stuff are.
Okay.
So are we not particularly deep underground yet, or is it we're already fully in the Underdark? As best we can tell.
As far as you know, you
In a cave.
are underground.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I
don't
guess,
know.
Age.
What is this Underdark you speak of?
I guess it has to be a really big cave for it to have a stalactite that big.
Well, Sareth looks over at you and kind of in a begrudgingly tone and kind of like, are you serious? You don't know where you're at. He tells you that you're several miles below the surface.
Ooh.
That's a new experience.
Okay.
All right.
Is everybody back up to the front now? Up to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty much. So,
All right.
so I know how, like, the prince guy, like, is he, like, hoity-toity? Is he fruity? What is he, you know? So I know.
The. Yes, he's quite hoity-toity.
Okay.
Yeah, Prince Darendelle.
So these quarters are quite atrocious.
You hear this coming from the Quagoth. And you hear this in your mind, because I'm assuming you're all trying to speak with each other. So, Stool, once everybody came in, he kind of poofed out his magic fart.
And we all breathed it in. Heck yeah.
In the excitement, he accidentally spored himself.
Yeah.
So
We're all
you-
high on fart
You hear in
gas.
your mind, he says, breathe deeply.
Oh, yeah.
Feel the inside of you.
So we're
You
able
hear,
to like control the thoughts that we're talking with, and obviously it's not just everything in our heads are being.
Right, so you can have normal conversations inside your head.
Okay.
Not everybody's hearing everybody. Yeah, unless you want them to, they can.
I say to Stool, I say thank you so much. I longed for this feeling again. In my not Macho Man voice, of course.
Okay.
Is there anything in this room besides us?
There are there's kind of small stalactites or stalagmites. There's clay chamber pots, a few of them. There's definitely not enough for everyone. There's a couple rocks and small boulder type things around. There are no beds or chairs or anything like that. You guys are forced to sleep and sit on the dirt.
Are any of the rocks big enough to make like a weapon or something with?
From what you can tell, this place has been picked over pretty good. There's not many, maybe smaller than your hand.
I suspect combat's not in our interest at the moment.
Question: are we wearing pants?
You are wearing your undergarments, yes. Since you had no armor to begin with, you are not completely naked.
Okay.
Alright.
Does any of our garments have pockets?
Probably not.
I guess it's like slave rag.
So Nick, how often do they let us out to do things, or is everything that we do in here?
No, so they do let you out a couple times a day to do stupid stuff that makes no sense. They call it TD arcs.
Nice.
Oh, really out of character. That's the name of where we work. Oh my god. Almost ready. Zing! Okay, so while we're all talking to each other, I say we have the advantage here, believe it or not. They don't know that we can all communicate. We need to coordinate an escape unless you guys really like it in here.
And about that time,
Are we all let out at the same? Wow. You can go ahead.
they actually start coming up. Actually, you know what? I'll let you go ahead and make your plans. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I was going to ask.
Go ahead.
Are we let out all at the same time, or just like individually, or just small groups?
Good question. So you are all let out at the same time. Every person is either by them. It's either an individual prisoner accompanied by at least one drow or one Quagoth, or there might be a couple of you doing or working together. But you always have at least one guard with you.
Per person.
Per group, and the group may be one person.
Okay, but that's usually including a Quagoth, which is a brute force thing, right?
Right.
Brute force creature.
Now, out of this cage, you said we couldn't cast spells in there. Have we been able to try to cast a spell outside of this when they let us out?
So, what kind of spells did you have in mind?
Well, I have a cantrip. I can just cast Thaumaturgy and just see if I can make a rumbling sound somewhere. It's a spell.
Okay. So, you've seen others try to do things, make some type of spell. If they catch any wind of it, they are quickly punished, almost beaten to death, and then thrown back into the slave pen. You can obviously try, but if there's any type of somatic or anything like that to it, then you would definitely have to do a...
It's just a
sleight of
voice
hand.
component. I can just finger glow
Okay.
for a second.
Okay, yeah.
Just to see.
Yeah, as long as it have a material component. I'm imagining we don't have any
Probably.
component.
When I was outside, I probably could try this, right?
Yep,
Over the last 3 days,
sure.
the places out there. Was there places out there I could have cast a spell?
Yep.
Okay.
Is
So that's
it just
good.
in here that I can't?
What's that?
Is it just in here that I can't, or is it other places out there as well?
From what you can tell, it's just in the slave pen that you cannot cast any spell. There's some type of... and I think I mentioned this at the end of our last campaign. Once you've actually got in here, the room actually is glowing kind of a purpley, pinkish. That's causing... That you've not seen anywhere else in the outpost. And that seems to be that is causing your magic to not work properly.
Can we
Okay.
check if we
Right.
know anything about something like that?
What's that?
Can we check to see if we know anything about something that would, what type of effect that is?
You can. It'd be an Arcana check.
Okay.
I'm telling you, it's going to be really hard unless you have any familiarity with the Underdark, though.
Skipping that, and
Okay.
I go ahead and ask the drow instead of making a check, since he used to live here now.
Mhm.
I ask the drow, what is this power that's stopping our magic?
He looks at you and he kind of smiles. He says, "This is what the entire Underdark is infused with. Some believe that it is what caused the Underdark to sustain itself. They called it Fair's Res. It's almost pure magic and chaotic magic. But in some places it seems to hinder your arcane abilities. Other places it seems to enhance them or have unexpected results. In fact, in some places it can even drive you mad.
Great.
Great, it's the warp underground.
Well, that answers our question.
So,
So-
probably not something that cannot be
So-
disabled.
So Tednug is gonna ask, or mentally ask, so how are we getting out of here? I got 5 gold I'm trying to spend.
Tim Jar gets excited and he claps his hands eagerly, but not too loud as to alert the guards.
And are we sure that the guards don't know about the myconid spores?
They likely do know that myconids can do something like that because they've dealt with myconids before. But Stool does it in an area where he can't be seen, and they don't know how old a myconid has to be in order to do that.
Okay, so they know there might be a chance, but they probably don't suspect it overly much.
Right.
Hopefully.
And overall, do we know how many drow there are there?
Yes, there are 19 total drow. There are about a dozen Quagoth, and then you've seen several giant spiders around as well.
I don't like those numbers.
Great. Would we know that those might be something that I'm not going to say, Nick? That you could ride?
Oh, Steeders? No, they're not.
Oh, they're not cedars. Okay, good. Whew. Dope.
And we don't go very far when we're let out, right? It's a very limited area.
No, you're taken all the way across the entire outpost.
So, inquiring of the drow again, I ask him, where do they usually store our equipment, or is that dispersed amongst the group?
You're asking the drow, you said?
Yes.
That I'm not sure. Normally, if it were me, I would keep it in a heavily guarded area. So the guardhouse might be a good place to start. My fear is, though, that it might be in Ilvara's chamber. And if that's the case, whatever you had, you might as well forget.
Okay. So, perhaps a diversion would be good, and then we might get some movement. What does everybody else think?
Well, we should. Then I'm going to ask if we're going to be a movement. Where would we be going? Do we have an idea of where we're going to be going? Because it's kind of, if we're going to make a sprint for it, we kind of need to know where to go.
I think first
Bupido
mission.
knows a way to get. If we can get out of this cage, knows a way to take you away from this area.
Shushar will recommend going to Slubladop. It's a basically fish person town near the Dark Lake, so he knows the area.
We probably need to find keys to get out of the stuff that's all around us right now, as well.
I can still if we're outside of this area, I can still use an invisible mage hand. It's only verbal and somatic, so as long as I can be sneaky about it,
Okay.
I can pickpocket.
This would have been a good place for Kudermorky.
This would have been a terrible place for Kumorka because they would have took his mage book.
He probably would have cried.
I would have
Yes,
been
but-
so rude.
As soon as he gets out, he could copy one of the keys if he saw it.
Damn it. You're right. That's okay. I mean, my character could copy one of the keys if he saw it too.
Well, that
He
is
could-
true, but you have to
He
have the
could
tool.
create it from nothing. He'd have to create it from something.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yes, I can pickpocket with mage hand.
But you have to be outside to use your mage hand.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So, how many of us are martial and have, that ability? Don't really rely on magic.
Physical combat.
Well,
Yeah.
I can punch people.
I can scratch people for a little bit.
This luchador used to be a monk, so I can do quite a lot with just my bare hands. And he flexes. Even though he's speaking in his head, he still flexes.
And then I look over.
There's obviously nothing unusual about this, given his demeanor.
Flex back. With both
You
arms.
see,
Gives a good
you see
thumbs
the
up.
orc in the back, Ront. He was like, "If you need muscle, that's all I've got."
Good. So, I think our best bet would be to use the spells we can when we can, and to use the muscle to our advantage to try to overpower them and flank them or something. But we'd have to coordinate it very well, and we don't speak the same language, so... But I think I could solve that if we got out. I wink at the Myconid.
Just carry it under
Do
your
they come at
arm.
like regular intervals to let us out?
What's that?
Do they come at regular intervals to let us out?
You can't really tell. You really haven't figured out any way of keeping track of time. But
Unless we have someone with keen mind.
So, quick question.
Mhm.
How tall are drow?
they're about a human height, between 5 and 6 feet tall.
Shit. Okay. Cool. Alright, here goes that idea.
All right, so not that I want to share this information, but I maintain that when we get out, I can actually provide communication through the group without the need to talk. And that's something that our captors probably would not be aware of. I also, when I am in in a magical area, I can use something similar to what the Myconid can do. So we don't have to speak to act. But I have to be out of this.
So as you guys are all kind of conversing, you see the disfigured Jorlin come up to the door and says, "It's time for your duties," in kind of a broken common. And he unlocks the door. And who wants to be like the first one at the door?
Well, before we go out, you quickly hear from the new Tabaxi. If you can free my hands, I will have my bow.
That is another good point I need to really reiterate. You guys are shackled and manacled and all that kind of stuff. So,
Well, no weapons.
right.
Well, if they were to acquire weapons, would it be with disadvantage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So essentially, your manacles are connected to your waist by a chain.
Right.
So,
So
all
you-
this also.
I mean, you've got movement, but
there's no other leg shackles or anything?
there's no shackles on your legs. Sal's, your wings are bound, just so you know.
Okay, figured so.
Melvin's gonna walk behind Ted Nug with his arm on his shoulder like he's leading him like he's blind.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna go up by the door here. I'll go up first out.
Seeing eye work.
I mean, yeah, I'll be up in the front. He doesn't care. He's a star. He'll lead the pack.
Yes.
Who's coming up?
Sal will lead it.
Okay. So Sal's going to be the first one
Yeah,
out?
he doesn't know what he's getting into right now. He didn't care.
Okay.
He doesn't know better.
So as Sal gets close to the door, Jorlin leans in and says, and he says this very quietly, so you really have to strain to hear him. He says, "If I provide you with a way of getting out, would you take it?"
This is the wrong person. Okay,
Stay in character. You got this.
I know, but
Maybe you're smart enough to realize that you can't speak softly.
yeah, because
Escape destroyed.
he, I can't answer quietly, so he's like, "What?" Sorry.
And Jorlin says, he looks around and sees the other guards there, and he says, I didn't say anything, fool. And then he opens the door.
I mean, you don't have to get out today, guys.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm actually getting really comfortable on this corner of the cave.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Let me divvy these out. 1, 2, 3. Everybody roll a d10, both for yourself and for your NPC.
First one will be for Sal. Second will be for NPC.
All just rolling d10s.
Yes, just a d10.
I guess I could have clicked on the other one. Oh, well.
Yep.
Okay, so
No. Ain't no good.
okay. All right, so Sal rolled a 1, and then Dendril rolled a 9. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. Sal rolled a 1, Dendril rolled a 9.
Okay. 9. Sorry, it's going to take a bit. Pedo. 10. Tinog 2. Just trying to make sure you guys get assigned properly.
But for what?
2 and 4.
You never know.
Wonderful. Smoke and the fish both got 6.
Yeah.
All right, Diane 7, and Topsy also got a 7.
Does that mean that we're super in sync with our NPC buddy, our accountability buddies?
Luna 4, and Eldith is a 7. Okay. All right, so Sal, you are taken by one of the drow, and I'm going to just move you over there.
Oh, I see. Maybe.
One of the drow takes you and leads you over. Where are you?
He's got foot rolling duty, doesn't he?
He takes you over here, where you notice that there is 2 Quagoths and a kind of a basket. And the Quagoths are kind of at some type of a lever thing. Whoops.
Is it? Because I don't have dark vision, so.
Oh, good point.
I mean, I guess that would probably provide some light for the ones that can't see in the dark, if
Yeah.
they want to actually be able to do anything.
Yeah, so you know what? We're going to move you, and you're going to go into this room where there is another drow and a Quagoth. It is fairly lit, or dimly lit, but this is where the drow, this is their barracks, essentially, one of them at least. You see about six beds in here, and each one has a chamber pot underneath. They want you to clean it up.
Gross.
Take it out and fling it out over the ledge. All right. Let's see. Tednug
Let's do this.
has another drow. And by the way, while you guys are being led, you actually do go through the guardhouse. That's right across, because that's the only way to get there. So let's see. As you get moved to the east of the map, I want you to roll if you have ability to see, you probably, well, actually, you know what, Sal, you would be able to see because it is dimly lit. So if you want to roll with disadvantage a perception, you can. And Tednug, you can as well, because you're going that way.
Disadvantage?
Yep. You'd have advantage because you have dark vision.
Advantage, so.
Or not advantage.
Normal,
Just normal. Yep. Sorry. Excuse me.
All right.
So that. Oh.
And you are getting moved.
Not even the dice roll slow.
All right. So that was a 8. Okay. So you didn't notice anything. Tednug, you notice as you go through.
I am very observant.
That you're going in at the kind of the lower, it seems to be the lower rung of the stalactite. It's a bit cramped in there, but you do see that there's a rope ladder going up as you pass through it.
Okay.
This whole while you obviously are walking along very rickety rope bridges, very tight ledges. You're walking by a fairly large waterfall underground. So you get over here with one of the Quagoths, and you see another Quagoth there, and he points to the rope that's at your feet, and he wants you to coil it up. And as you finish doing that, he takes it and unravels it, tells you to do it again, and this goes on multiple times. All right. Click clack. Oh, I didn't roll. Well, that's fine. Where are we? Okay. So click clack and Sereth. Actually, no. Click clack and Ront are going this way. Luke, if you want to roll perception, you can.
Right, give me 1 second. Oops. Nope, wrong one. Sorry. There we go.
Okay, you don't notice anything. But as you guys are crossing, Ront says, "You'll never take me," and tries to take one of the drow that's escorting you, and he reaches around and tries to throw him over the edge on the ledge. As he does so, you see Ilvara come out, and you see her take this. It's a rod, and at the very tips of it turns into 3 tentacles, and she goes, "I will have no insolence here." And she hits him, and all 3 of the tentacles hit him, and you see him just break down and cower. You see one of the Quagoths that's in their employ come up, and she tells him, "Feed him to the spiders." and she takes him, or the Quagoth takes him, and you see him rip the arms off of Ront and throw an arm into the web below.
So we don't have his help.
You see him, the other arm fall off the cliff, and then you see the Quagoth kick him over the edge. And you don't see anything below, but other than a bunch of the webs that you've seen all around, start kind of jiggling around, and you hear kind of a sound. So you no longer have Ron's help.
Great. How much have I heard of her voice?
I'm sure he's fine.
Over the past few days, you've actually been there a little bit longer than the rest of the party. So she does come by. So you've heard her a few times. She comes by at least once a day.
Okay. So would you say that accurately I've built up a repertoire that I could mimic her voice if necessary?
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. That's fine.
But
so where am I going
You can
now?
only say things that she might have said.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're actually in the dining room and mess hall. In here, you see 3 drow and 2 Quagoths. The 3 drow are sitting around a table playing, looks like some type of dice game.
Okay.
The Quagoths are attempting to cook, and you are going to be in there to cook with them. These are what they're making is something of meat, actual substance, whereas you've been giving nothing but mushroom broth, essentially, every day that you've been here, once a day.
Okay.
Mushroom broth.
Your robot Blake, I'm sorry.
And Turvy is sent to go clean the Quagoth's cave.
Oh man.
In there, Turvy sees bones of some creatures. Some look humanoid, some look 4, 6, 8-legged. There's just lots of carcasses, lots of poop everywhere, and there are about close to half a dozen Quagoths in there watching him. Let's see. Oh, and Luna is also there with him. Sorry. Eldith, Diane, and Topsy. And Eldith
I don't like you skipping my number.
and Diane. All right, there you are. And Topsy are all made to clean your pen. Smoke and Shushar. Smoke and Shushar, you are sent to Smoke. If you would like to roll perception, you can. For both of you.
By the way, Shishar is 120. How do I roll perception for him? Oh, here we go. I still click it.
I know, his... Oh, shit.
Hold on. Where is the advantage checkbox on there? Oh, anyway, so we go ahead and roll mine.
His, no advantage, just... Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, really? I see, not seeing.
Yep, neither of you see anything or notice anything. And you are sent to the other barracks, and both of you are to massage the feet of the drow that are in here. Let's see.
How do I turn off advantage for the NPC?
I must Don't worry about it. I have to do it.
Okay, well, that's fine. It's easy enough. So, count it out.
Melvin had 9.
Oh, I see. It defaults to the GM.
All right, so Melvin and Boopidoo are sent to go and fish off the waterfall, trying to catch fish in a basket. You can roll perception as you'll be going through the guardhouse.
Okay, I'm looking for bat shit along the way.
Okay. All right. So roll perception and investigation then for you.
I'm pretending to be blind and keeping my head down. So.
Yep. And here in a second, I'll open up the bottom map so you guys can kind of see more, because each of you will be in a different location. So. As you guys start trying to fish, you notice that the water is extremely cold, and there's not a whole lot of... So catching anything in this is almost futile.
Okay.
Do
I notice anything else around? Was I supposed to roll a perception?
Yeah, roll perception, and if you're looking for batshit, roll an investigation as well.
Okay.
Okay, so you notice that there is as you pass through the guard tower, you notice that there's a rope bridge going up. You also see that Jorlin has been making his time in here. Mm-hmm. And you are able to find that there's a few droppings along the way on the bridge. If you want to pick it up, you'll have to roll a sleight of hand.
I pretend to stumble and...
Okay. Sleight of hand with advantage. In it. That might work. Let's see. Let's see. Yep, you are able to acquire some bat poop.
Okay.
All right.
Da-da-da-da.
Oh, Darendelle is also there with you. And you guys also have 2 Quagoths.
With Darendelle's fishing stuff?
Yep. And Jimjar. Alright. There's a Quagoth there. And one here. And Jimjar is going to be made to move heavy boxes from one location to another within the guard tower. Sareth and Stool are also going to be cleaning up your slave pen. Is there anything you're wanting to do while you're out?
I would like Jimjar to... Is there any way he can kind of do a perception check? I don't know.
You can. He's actually spending time in here. That's where his punishment is.
Oh.
His tasks, so.
More, whoop, didn't mean to do all that. Didn't know I could do all that. Anyways, so could he have tried to see what he saw on the way to his punishment? Like the path, or do they blindfold us as we walk out? Like how to get?
No. Where he is right here.
Yeah, I see him.
And let me open up the bottom so you guys can kind of see more. Oh, and I don't think I actually told you the name of the outpost. It's called Vulcanvelve. Just so you're aware. Review. Okay. Does everybody see that down below?
I see so much more.
Now the numbers, what do those mean?
That's more for me,
Okay.
just so I know kind of where you guys are positioned, so I can see what you're looking for. Okay, so let's see. So you started off where it says party, right? That's where Diane, Eldith, Topsy, Sereth, and Stool are still at. They're all cleaning in there. Luna and Turvy are in the one down the stairs to the left in number 12. Yep. And that is the Quaggoth cave. 10 is where Jim Jar is, and that's the guard outpost. And you can see that the stairway leads up to another room. You guys shouldn't necessarily see 6 through 7, but yeah. 9's the waterfall, which is where Darendil, Melvin, and Boopidoo are. 4. Go ahead.
Oh, yes. Are those webs on the bottoms of the stalactites? Is what we're seeing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So Jim Jar and any of the other. Well, actually, hold on. I think it's 60 feet down. So you guys may just be able to see the webs, but the ones that are accustomed to living in the Underdark can actually see all the webs that are down there. They span the entire length of the outpost.
I see. Yeah.
Let's see. Number 4, you haven't actually gone through yet. And number 2 is where... so there's actually 2 areas right there. That's where the 2 barracks are, where you guys are giving the foot rubs and cleaning out their barracks. 5 is where Ted Nug is uncoiling and coiling rope, which is where there's a lift.
Oh, a lift. Okay.
More with Salat. What number was he at?
So am I actually lifting things up, or are they just like...
What was that?
Am I actually like lifting things up, or are they just like making me coil rope up again and again and again?
You're just coiling the same rope over and over and over again.
All right. Well.
Yeah.
Where
this is
really good at coiling rope right now.
Like I said, this is extremely monotonous, useless work. They're doing it for their own amusement because there's nothing else around. They enjoy seeing lesser beings do work.
There's nothing useful to do.
Right.
Except for the cleaning, but I mean...
Right. They don't like the smell. So those of you that are cleaning, you're told to walk out to the ledge and dump it over to where there's a pool and a stream that's right underneath the spider webs, and that's where you can assume that the waterfall flows into.
What area was Sal in? I was just trying to figure that out.
Sal is in the number 2 area,
Okay.
all the way towards the end.
Right.
Okay. Is there anything you guys wanted to do while you're out?
Can I look more closely at the guard and see if they have any... I'm guessing they probably don't have keys, but, just check to see while I'm doing the foot rub thing.
Oh, good question. Roll investigation.
Sweet, I like investigation.
Let's see.
Still a poor roll. I'm inclined to think that these guards wouldn't, but you never know. Maybe they're lax and have several copies.
Mhm. Okay. You actually do see that they do appear to have a chain of, or a ring of keys on his belt, the one that you're rubbing.
Okay, I'm not gonna do anything with that yet, but that's good to know.
Okay.
And that just the one that I was rubbing. Okay.
It'd be a little hard to see the other one.
Yeah, I figured. My work will obviously suffer from the distraction.
Does anybody else want to do anything else while you're doing this?
Well, Melvin wants to talk
Go
to
ahead.
Boopy Doo because he's mentioned that here, if he knows which direction from where we are, we would need him to go.
So you can talk to yourself.
Well, yeah, but I don't know the answer.
No, I know. So, let me check. Hold on. He points to the south, which is kind of to the southeast on the map. He says, "The way to Glackelstag is that way."
Okay, that's towards 1 as opposed to 12 on the map.
Yes, yeah.
That's pretty much it.
May I? I'm assuming. Does Shishar know if that waterfall leads to the Dark Lake?
You can ask him.
Well, I was asking you as a GM. Does he know that? I'm not gonna.
Well,
I can't speak to him right now. I'm assuming the spores have worn off.
Right. It does not run towards the Dark Lake.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. But he can relay that later.
Yeah.
If it's
Nick.
not
Mm-hmm.
Can I check and see if there's anything in the kitchen that I might be able to commandeer, say in my beak, and take back to the cell?
Yeah, roll investigation.
Okay. Oop. Let's do that.
What are you looking for in particular?
I'm looking for something I could turn into a pick, like a lock pick.
Okay. There are a few utensils and things in there. There's like skewers you might be able to use for that type of situation.
Okay.
Like what you do like kebab on and stuff like that.
What am I cooking?
You don't really know.
Great.
It's a meat of some sort.
All right. Is the skewer in a place that it would be obvious if I reached for it?
I mean, there's several of them there.
Right.
So, I mean, it's up to you if you want to try to like do a sleight of hand for it.
I'm going to try to do a sleight of hand.
And I'm
Yeah.
assuming you're doing your focus on third eye. Is that right? So you can see?
Yeah.
Okay.
So can I do that with advantage then?
No, it's still.
Damn it. Okay. All right. Well, here we go. Here goes nothing. I'm going to try to grab it and hide it under my feathers. Gently. Damn it.
It actually seems to go unnoticed.
Awesome. Oh, wow. That was lucky. Okay. Well, I'm going to keep on cooking.
That was actually very lucky.
I'm gonna say. I mean, how many perception checks did you roll for that?
Okay. Anybody else?
I don't think there's too much to talk about when it's throwing up poop and pee.
Well,
No.
is there another rope near me? At Tendog, I mean?
A room?
No rope. Is there another
Oh,
rope?
rope. There are several ropes right there. Yes.
And these beast guys can talk, right?
Yep. They can.
Can I ask any of them to a rope coiling challenge?
Sure.
So you can coil the rope the fastest?
Do you speak Undercommon?
You try to. No intent.
Can I, like, point at it? Like,
You try in a very awkward.
Can you point at it?
point and, like, make, like, a really fast, like, rope coiling motion and see if they can do it, too? See if they want to go?
He looks at you and he immediately starts getting angry, thinking you're telling him to
No.
coil the rope.
Well, somewhat am, but I just kind of like shrug it off or whatever.
Okay. These are not
What
very
do we-
intelligent beasts.
Same. I don't know.
Nick?
I got 13.
Yep.
What are we fishing with? Is it just like a fishing hook on a line?
No, you've got a basket with holes and stuff in it. You're holding it out underneath the waterfall, which is so cold you're barely able to keep your hands in. The Quagoths are forcing you to do it as long as possible, so bad that your arms are getting numb.
Okay.
Because it would be fitting.
Anything
when
else?
he's got the strength. The prince would be doing it.
Do
with
any
his,
of
with his pinky out and
Go ahead.
kind of like his tongue sticking out, like ew. Such menial tasks.
You see one of the other Quagoths closest to you. He looks at you and says, "Shut your mouth." In Undercommon. Do any of the quieter characters, Luna, Diane, do you guys want to do anything?
Nope, just doing as told. Staying quiet, trying not to raise trouble.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys go through and finish up. While Jorlin is in there with Jim Jar on his own, he goes up to him and says, "If I was to give you an escape, would you take it?"
I bet you I would.
He looks around and he says, "During the next guard change, I'll leave the door unlocked. My advice to you, push the door open, make for the webs, jump into the water."
Is there anyone else in the room, or is it just me and him?
Just you and him.
All right. So I say, should we be worried about the spiders getting us as we make to the webs?
He laughs and says, "I would worry if I was you."
What about our manticles and such? Is there any way we could remove those?
That's not my concern.
What about our stuff?
Don't care.
Okay. Noted. Thanks, brother. Let's see what I can do with that information.
From what you can tell, he was jilted by the leader because of his deformity. He has been dropped in rank and wants her to suffer.
Roger. He's trying to shame her.
All our stuff. Yep.
Gotcha. All right. Well, message received.
Wait, was there anything you wanted to do?
Nope, it's good.
Okay.
We're good.
What riveting dialogue did we miss that on?
Well, I was talking and I was like, he's not answering me.
They're just talking over me. How rude.
Oh, cool beans. My bad.
I know this isn't thrilling and super involved. I thought you were just like, whatever.
No, I was just muted. Because I was eating earlier, and I guess I forgot to unmute myself. Okay.
Oh, am I still having a dialogue with him?
You can if you want.
Yeah, I'm going to say I can tell that your goal is to embarrass her.
And when you say that, he kind of gets frustrated looking, like he's ashamed. And he doesn't say yes or no.
And so Jim Jar continues, I bet it would be more embarrassing if we completely got away with everything and all of our stuff. Surely you could offer us something better.
Like I said, I can let you out. The rest is up to you.
That will be enough then. Thank you. Your wish will be done.
Your will is my command.
These nuts.
How rude.
I scratch my gnome balls and go about my business.
If you haven't
All
noticed,
right.
I'm moving you guys back, so
Cool.
bear with me.
Still.
Still.
Was there anything anybody else wanted to do before I put you back?
I can't imagine
Uh,
being by himself except for trying to talk to them and then not listening because he can't understand them. So no need to
Yeah.
put y'all through that.
I don't think
No, I
would have done anything there. He was just cleaning.
I think I'm
up.
gonna play it safe. I'm gonna play it safe.
Okay, hold on just a second.
Want to get all my information, then act.
All right. Let me bring Jim Jar back in. So after some time has passed, feels like hours have gone by. Several of you have been mopping and cleaning up crap, and Melvin, you cannot feel your arms at all. It feels like you've been sleeping on them all day. Let's see. Upito and Darendelle are about the same. Let's see. Okay. Let's see what else. Stool notices that Ront is gone, and he kind of gets in the middle of you guys and poofs again. And he says, "What happened to the green one?"
I say, you're not going to like it. They ripped his arms off, threw them to the spiders, and then the weapon that the lady used, she used this thing. It was like a mace kind of thing with tentacles. And when she hit him with the tentacles, like all of his strength was nothing. Completely just gone. And I watched the whole thing transpire. It was utterly disturbing. So whatever we do, let's watch out for that. Also, I managed to sneak something that might improvise as a lockpick, but I'm not ready to use that yet.
I'll point out, I saw that some of the extra guards have extra keys that I might be able to steal at some point.
Jim Jar butts in, and he says, I have something that might change all of this. So I talked to one of the other guys. He looks like the guy with the weird face, and he says that we have one shot at escape. He's actually going to unlock our cage at the next guard change. So whatever we do, we need to do it quick. This isn't my first rodeo, so I can tell you this is our one shot. So we need to make a plan now.
As Ted Nug, I say I saw a rope on my way over to coiling up more rope. It was to the left out of here, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. And it went up one of those stalactites. Stalactites.
Goes down.
Goes down. Okay, sorry. I misheard.
No, that's okay.
In brain stuff. Yimyar, did he tell you anything else?
No, that's it. Actually, that's all I got. But does anyone know where to go from here if we got out, or where our gear's at?
Pupito says, "I know which way to go if we can get out of here. We just need to clear the way."
Shushar recommends going to Sloop. Hold on. I have to be looking at it. Sloobladop. The which is, I think, to the north, and it's I guess relatively close by.
The drow, he said our best bet was to jump into the web. I asked him if the spiders would kill us, and he said, best he could tell, yes. I think that he has ulterior motive to get back at the leader because she no longer loves him because of his face or something. I couldn't
probably
really
wouldn't be sad to see us all die. It would be embarrassing enough for us all to get killed.
This is true.
It's not so much he doesn't really care if we get away. He just cares that we all die trying.
And Sereth, the drow that's in there with you, he kind of smirks and he says, if the spider doesn't get us, then the ooze in the pond may.
How great is this?
Also, what is this
I'll
drow?
shudder a bit at hearing.
Blake, you're getting robot-y.
Ah!
Diane is wondering how the drow got in here.
Like I say, I shudder a little bit at the mention of a noose.
The drow that's in there,
Yeah.
he's the one that tells you that he believes that he was framed for murder of another drow.
Be very drow thing to do.
But yeah,
Yeah.
he has no memory of it. He also was the one that brought Stool in here. So they kind of are a pair, if you will.
Well, Ted Dog is just gonna say to everyone that I'm not leaving without my great axe.
And Nick, I asked. I don't know. Hold on. I don't know if he responded or whatever. Yeah. Do you know would Shushar or think that he'd be able to get any provisions like for actual equipment and stuff like that? And I don't know how long it would take to get to anywhere.
I mean, he does know that that town does have equipment and stuff.
But we wouldn't have anything to pay for it with, or so.
Right. Yep.
Why would he be able to actually convince to provide that? It seems unlikely, is my guess.
Probably not. He is completely different than any other Kutoa.
Yeah, he's a hermit. So
Yeah.
Okay, so we definitely need gear. We're
So
not surviving without gear.
Jim Jar interjects and says, well, while this all may be true, and why we maybe shouldn't trust the drow, as Eldrith has pointed out, this might be our only chance at escape. If that gate, if our door is unlocked, then I do think that we should make a run for it. Otherwise, we're going to be coiling rope for the rest of our life.
I feel like the door might be the least of our problems, given our capabilities.
What is your plan, cat?
Stealing a set of keys? These guards are
Get us
lazy.
out of a door?
These guards are lazy and indolent.
Where is your keys going to get us?
Out of the door, exactly the same way that the other person was going to get us out.
And how can we trust that you will be successful?
How do we trust the guy that wants us dead?
Well, if we go to open the door and it doesn't open, then we know he didn't follow through.
But he doesn't care if we get out. He just wants us to try. For all we know, he sets it up so that they'll be aware that we're getting out and kill us.
This is also true, but shame is a powerful motivator. You've seen his face. Come up with a better plan or stay quiet.
I'll mention that he did try to talk to me when we were first going out, but I couldn't quite hear him. So he must be trying to, really help us out. But also that a guaranteed plan of getting out the door is better than wishful thinking that we can get these keys.
All right. When we get out, direction we're going.
North. Yep, I'm assuming we have people that can figure out what north is.
Well,
I say we go south, says Torpedo.
What have Ted Nug seen?
I know a way out to the south.
Shushar will just, he'll insist north to Slubladop. I don't know if it's closer. I mean, does Shushar know where the other place is and whether it's closer or not? Or
Shushar would know that Slubadop would be the kind of the gateway to Dark Lake, which would actually get you to everywhere else. He would be able to probably commandeer or at least provide boats from there to get wherever else they need to go.
Yes, so playing up that angle.
Stool and Sereth both want to go to Neverlight Grove. Stool, that's where he's from, and he's a long way from home.
Oh, poor little mushroom guy.
Well, the easiest way to get there will probably be the Dark Lake.
All right, so we'll go north.
I don't know how to. I can't do this voice for Shushar, so sorry.
I'll do whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
Better to die in a fight. Sitting here and rot.
Better not to fight at all, says Shushar.
Click Clack
Okay,
looks
you're all
at
pretty,
Smoke and says,
but
"Go ahead."
arguing about it's not going to work. So, how about we ask the Drow if he knows how to get us out of here and what we're doing? Like, what are they going to use us for? Can't
He
you
said,
tell us?
"Yep." Sereth knows that.
Do we have a window of time?
You guys would all be in about a week's time or so. The representative from Menzo Banzarin will be in to take all the slaves back to the Drow City to be slaves there, or to whoever's the highest bidder to do whatever.
So that's quite a bit of time to repair.
Would it be easier to just let us get transported and then escape that way?
Highly unlikely.
I'm hesitant about that
split
because
up.
then you're gonna have a lot of guards around you at all times. Then
Sereth
What about
says,
escaping along the way.
versus here, you might actually have the guards being a little more lax and spread thin.
Sereth says, "Was that easy escape on your way here? Think of what it would be like on the way there."
Closer to the capital. I'm still wait. Well, I don't know that. That's there. Closer to the
If we
city.
get any closer, we're not going to get out of there.
Yeah,
Let's get
They
out
would
now.
drug you with their poison and take you away. You would not even know you were gone.
alright.
We like the drugs.
Click Clack says, "Remember, any of you who know spells, as soon as we leave this gate, we do have access to our spells.
So we don't
I
have
might be able to pick and free your arms, those who use martial skills, and we could disarm potentially the Drow and use their weapons for a time."
Yes.
Do you have a small piece of iron at all?
I have this skewer that I commandeered.
Thing?
Yeah.
Does anybody else have a small piece of iron?
Nope.
Nope.
Yep.
Yeah, big piece of iron.
Well, I mean, the pick. I mean, the
Viewer.
skewer could probably serve as some type of a pick.
So obviously, I wouldn't be able to pick my own, but I could probably pick Smoke's, and Smoke could probably pick mine, and we could free other people. I can use thieves' tools, so I'm sure I could improvise the use of thieves' tools.
Yep.
But is that something that the party wants to do? Because obviously, then they'll know that we freed ourselves. So that's kind of a death sentence if they catch us.
I think that we should try to gather more information before we do anything. We have a week. We have...
No, but
We have
No,
until
we
only
the
have
get
a
guard
window.
change. Guard change. Or
Well, why are we going to take up that
They're
guy?
gonna-
We know that guy probably wants us dead. But he wants it to be an accident or an escape attempt. He doesn't want us to get away and live.
We don't know if we'll.
He
live
wants
or
us to get
not.
away and jump. We're gonna fight one way or the other.
Yeah, but we're not fighting without our gear. How are we going to fight without our gear?
Soften them up. Take the weapons from the ones we get. Them probably with Ted Nug, and those you can fight. If we can take down a couple of the guards and their weapons, we can probably do.
My mind is my weapon, and I can turn them against each other. So, don't rule me out in a fight. I don't need martial weapons to fight.
You don't need components.
If I, your skewer, can you cut off a small piece of it somehow?
I highly doubt I could cut this skewer with anything in here.
I mean, is it? How long is it?
Maybe you can't, but somebody else could possibly.
That's true.
When he's talking about the guard
How
chain,
long-
is that talking about a point where there's going to be no guards at the gate?
The skewer,
about an inch long.
the skewer is about the length of maybe your forearm. It's like for a kebab.
I need like an inch piece of it broken off. Then I
Is there
can
anyone
cast
who can
hold
do that?
person on someone. Out of the locks and just bend it back and forth until it breaks off a piece.
Actually, speaking of spells, it's only 5 people, but
Yeah, if we can just stick it in something and bend it back and forth several times, it'll probably break off a small enough piece for me to use.
I'm not opposed to it. I could still use part of it to try to pick.
oh, I could borrow a piece of I could borrow a small feather or a piece of down, which conveniently we have in here, to cast
what?
Featherfall. I could cast Featherfall for when we jump over.
I've got plenty if you need them. If
I
you
was
need them,
gonna say,
Gatito.
I would say they're looking at the the components.
That actually does make good sense, Nick. Could we actually use like a plume of one of our feathers to as an improvised pick as well?
It's a feather is probably not sturdy enough to pick a lock. Yeah.
Like
about,
the root part?
No,
What about
it wouldn't.
What about my claws?
They're probably not long enough.
I mean, I probably haven't had a chance to trim them in a while.
Well, right, but they're not going to be able to be
At the-
maneuvered. Yeah, they're kind of at a curve, so you need
All
something
right.
a little more.
Well, I say we take a vote. Us sitting here talking about it isn't going to do anything. We obviously have 2 opinions. So, all in favor of trying to get out when the drow opens the door, out of character type 1. Raise your hand.
Peter raised their hand.
Stool doesn't have hands, so he bounces up and down.
Noted.
I'll say, hold on. Sure, I'll say. Sure, why not? Sure, I'll vote contrary to me.
Oh, there's always one. Okay, so it looks like we have a majority vote. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to break off part of this. Could I still use it to pick if I break off part of it, like maybe off the back end of it, the not sharp tip?
Well, it's not like you'd see now. It's actually pointed on both ends.
Oh, okay, good.
Purposes for them. Everything is kind of utilitarian. So
I assume that one of y'all loans me a small feather or some down, right? For Featherfall if need be.
Sure. So I'm going to begin trying to free Smoke, unless you think I can free myself, in a corner where there's not as much light.
Um,
Well, I don't think light's gonna.
yeah, you're able to see throughout because it's kind of dimly lit throughout in there.
And
Thinking
behind
probably,
Ted Nug.
yeah, or behind someone. There's plenty of bodies to hide behind in here.
Let's see, where are you?
It is a little crowded in here.
A little bit.
Yeah, if you want to, I would probably say it'd be harder for you to pick your own lock.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell Smoke to get over here then, and I'm going to try to pick his lock if I can do that without raising attention, to the best of my knowledge.
Okay.
So what do you need me to do for that?
Roll Thieves' Tools.
Okay.
Ooh. So you are unlocking. Oh, that was Jim Jar. You.
Yeah, but I think it's still me. I just had the chat selected as him.
Ah, okay, gotcha. Okay. And you were doing Smokes?
Yeah, I'm doing Smokes because I know that he has access to Thieves' Tools, or I would imagine that we've.
Or I would have
relayed that.
relayed. Yeah, whatever you
Yeah.
did. In fact, I think I did. I
You
did
what?
kind of when I was talking about stealing a key, but or picking the locks.
You have
Anyway.
Thieves' Tools? Oh, you're saying
Yeah.
you can't use them. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So you hear you kind of fumble around because it's a little bit bigger than you're used to. That's what she said. And
Oh my god.
you finally hear the successful, and the manacle kind of just releases. It doesn't fall, thankfully. It doesn't fall, but you can hear the lock release, and he's free. His wrists, at least, are free. He still has the belt and the collar.
But my hands are no longer restricted to
But-
the belt.
Right. You can actually take the manacles off if you'd like.
I'll leave them loosely on for the time being, just for the sake of appearances.
Okay.
Right. Who are my somatic casters? Probably Luna.
Our hands are probably free enough for somatic casting, aren't they? For the
Yes.
hand gestures.
Yep.
But she probably
But-
wouldn't be able to draw a bow, which is
Yeah.
what I'm imagining she's
Yeah,
going
which
to
is
use.
that's what she was
Well,
saying.
you don't know that.
No, she said. Well, she says, "Get my hands free, and I'll have the weapon I need."
Yeah.
Okay.
She did,
Yeah, she's using the chat.
So do I need to cast that every time, or yes, probably.
To locks.
Say what?
Are you asking to picking the locks on everybody's?
Yeah.
You do,
Okay.
but it would be with advantage because you've kind of gotten
Figured it
the hang of
out.
Yep.
Good thing. of it.
Okay. Slap it on advantage. I'm gonna start picking away.
Let's go over here. Let's continue to look sullen.
Who were you after that time?
That's after Luna.
That one actually does not
Can I
go.
just keep going then?
It takes about 5 minutes per person.
Damn it. All right.
Per attempt, perhaps.
Well,
Yep.
how long do we have until the guards change? I mean,
That's
we
a
should
good
have seen
You
that.
don't know.
Speaking of,
Wouldn't we know? Like,
I would say move
being here
on.
for a few days.
okay. So
You've been in there for a few days, but you have no idea how long it is. You have no way of keeping track of time.
speaking of which, I'm gonna have Shushar just gonna kind of stand by the gate and look out dolefully
I'm gonna motion to Ted Nug to come over here.
to see if he can't get any idea of.
I just walked over and say, "Hey guys, what are you doing over here?"
And I tell him to reach out his hands, and I attempt to unlock his.
Actually, more specifically, he's gonna stand right here. That's kind of more in the line of sight of that, just in case. I don't think they can see, but
Okay. Yeah, that one goes.
All right. So
You're looking for a 15.
Okay. So we're still all able to mentally talk, right? It's not
Yes,
been 3 hours or whatever, or an hour.
I mean,
Has it?
whatever, yeah.
right. No, you got an hour, I think it is,
Right.
and it's
one
been
hour
about
3 times a day.
yeah, it's been about 35 minutes or so.
Okay. I'm gonna try Luna one more time.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave mine on snuggly and just kind of go back to my corner and get comfortable.
All right. So Luna's good. I want my meaty people. So I'm gonna get Sal because I know he's a monk, so he probably could do some unarmed combat.
Okay. So I'll move up and do it.
Sereth is going to try to slip out of his.
Okay.
I'm trying to move towards you, but you know.
All right. So Sal's hands are free. I kind of asked Sal if he thinks he needs his feet to.
It's
I thought
our
our
feet
feet
are-
aren't.
I don't
I
think
mean-
they were.
Feet are not.
Wait.
Yeah, they're probably good.
His wings were bound.
Yep.
I don't know
Ooh,
what matter.
that could be clutch. Actually, I'm gonna attempt to unbind his wings. It's
This guy's kit.
my bad. That's actually a lower roll
Worse, yeah.
opportunity
That's so
than the other.
Still a
You wanna-
disguise kit.
Okay.
Oh, same as.
Right. It's right under it. My bad, y'all.
And as you're going around picking the locks, Sereth actually wiggles his wrists and actually pops them out of the shackles, or his manacles.
Okay. Let me see who else.
Sereth goes over to Ted Nug and says, "Why don't you try breaking out of those?"
I kind of
Didn't you already undo Ted Knight?
blink and say, "I'm already good to go."
Oh,
Okay.
wow,
So-
Ted Knight's playing it sneaky.
Uh-huh.
I let the
Okay.
I let Eldrith out of hers.
Okay.
Who else?
So
Go ahead.
You get Melvin or Pepito?
Yeah, Melvin. If we have time, I'll try Melvin. Do we have time, Nick?
yeah,
Okay, Melvin, come on down. Let's give it a go.
Come on down. Dun, dun, dun.
You're the next contestant on the Pick is Right.
I mean, I think at this point you don't need to be able to talk to him to,
Yeah, I think everybody's caught on.
yeah.
okay. For the sake of this, you're rolling in the 20s every time, so we'll say you have time to get through everybody that
Okay,
hasn't
thanks.
either slipped out of
Yeah.
them or broken out.
Got it's got like a 60+ % chance just without advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So everybody is kind of. I assume you're not fully free-handed. You're making it into appearances that you're still bound. Is that
Mhm.
correct?
I
Yeah.
am. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Tushar doesn't really care. He's actually just going to leave his on for now.
Alrighty. So a little bit more time passes, and Stool's spores disappear, dissipates, and you heard some chatter, and then all of a sudden it stopped, and you see Jorlin come up. And he looks for Jim Jar. He nods at him
Like, cool guys.
and walks off.
Do they actually change out the guards? I guess it's really irrelevant because it's still the same number.
Oh, sh-
All right.
So, let's see. Hold on just a second.
I'm gonna. Is it okay if I hide behind the corner here?
Yeah, that's fine. And you see one guard is now towards the far end of the bridge, and then there's now one coming up close to the gate.
Shishar's gonna step back. He's done staring out more dolefully.
Okay, so
I'm gonna assume he's not like vehemently
I'll go
upset
ahead
at other people.
oops.
Whoops.
Okay, so the door is open. What you do next is up to you.
Are those guards there?
Read
Yes, the guards are there.
M's chat.
Oh. Nobody said there's going to be combat.
Yeah. I want to look for my shit personally. Dead Nog does.
I'm with Ted Doug. Want my shit back.
So shortly, as the guards come walking up to the gate, you hear really loud buzzing sound and screeching sound. And let's see. You see through
Uh-oh.
the chasm huge they're kind of like lizard looking
I'm gonna stay in here.
lizard looking mosquitoes. They seem not to be noticing anybody or anything, and they're fighting more amongst themselves.
Okay.
But as they start making more and more noise, you see the drow getting more on edge, and they start taking up arms. And you hear them yelling out things. Those that are in that can understand Undercommon hear them yelling, "The demons are here again!"
Cool. As Turvy, I'm gonna mumble. I have a message you, Whitney.
Okay.
I'm just gonna do it on Hangouts. So I think it'll be easier.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So at this time, the drow that were there seem to be distracted. And
Okay.
you see a bunch of these giant demons with wings just flying around. None of them are getting very close, but the drow are taking up preventative action.
Alright, so I'm gonna just kind of go over and say,
That one's
Take
still on
out the
bridge.
guards when they're distracted.
My brother says that they say there's demons out there.
All right.
Does anybody know anything about these?
Sareth would know. He says that these are, looks like there's a bunch of rock and a bunch of chasmi.
What are they?
Apparently demons.
Flying demons.
Are they going to come after us?
Who knows? They came out of nowhere.
I'm inclined to think they'll come after whatever they want.
Oh god. All right. Well, Jim Jar says, the best he can. Obviously, since we can't all communicate yet, he says, we should make a go now. This is the best distraction we're gonna get.
Sounds good to me, says Melvin. Rapidos, let's do it.
Is that guard still actually on that bridge, but looking distracted, I guess?
Yep.
All right. So Nick, how do we march out? Do we need to have like a marching order, or just kind of? You want us just to freehand this?
Was the door open?
The door is open. Yes.
Oh, that's tempting for Elda to push someone over.
This actually really is really good if you can push someone.
So Peter's going to go up behind this one and try and knock him off.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll stealth? Well, I guess at this point it's kind of irrelevant.
Okay, I see what we're working with now. Yikes. Okay.
Unfortunately, I can't move all these constantly, but they're just flying all over the place.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Nick, do we know what's in this area right here?
That's the guardhouse, right?
Yes, that's the guardhouse.
That's Ted Douglas.
That's where Jim Jar was talking with Jorlin, and that's where several of you found that there is a upstairs.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess let's just make our way across this ledge, unless somebody has any better idea.
That's the first place to look.
I don't know
The
that.
guardhouse.
Peter's going to try and shove that. That's the edge of the cliff, right?
There is a railing along that side too, so
Can you
Oh.
safety measures?
He's still going to try.
that's a little higher than waist high.
Bracket is going to try and walk up behind him and flip him over.
Well, I mean, like, both the guards have to be in on letting us out, so. Right?
Not necessarily.
No, they didn't.
Not
They didn't
necessarily.
double check the lock.
Robot.
Ah!
Isn't
But
it
not necessarily. If
Okay.
makes him go robot-y, or
It's,
I thought I fixed it last time.
internet connection thing.
No, well, it shouldn't be. But it's something. I'll add to
Alright.
it. Darn it.
So what are we doing?
so, if you're going to try to shove the guard over, roll a strength check on that. I'll give you surprise because
On
they're not
Torpedo?
expecting you. Yep.
How
Just roll.
do I do that?
Just click strength. And that'll be against.
And you said that's with advantage because it was a surprise.
Yep. So it's already with.
Something I was going to ask, I forgot to. How it, because I'm thinking of Pathfinder, I think. Is there non-lethal damage in this game? When you try and knock something
Yes, there is. Yep. You just have to tell me you're doing that.
Okay.
Because otherwise, he's going to assume you want him dead.
Yep. So the guard feels you starting to push him against the railing, and he kicks back real quickly and comes back at you. So let's get some initiatives going in.
Oh shit.
Oh, yeah.
How do I roll initiative on
Oh, yeah.
Torpedo?
No.
It's Dex, right?
Click him and click Dex. Yep.
Just roll Dex.
Yep.
Okay.
Hold on just a second.
Oh, yeah.
Keep what you've got in mind there. I need to clear this out because I accidentally double did it.
That's okay. 2 natural 20s. Nothing that matters for the fish guy.
You can just put him in. It's fine.
Ugh. Oh, yeah, that's right.
mine keeps going to
To
you
GM.
as a.
Message.
Yeah, the NPCs are all going to the DM.
Oh, okay, got you. I'm a smart.
So you said just click Dex for NPCs?
Yes. Yep.
Ooh, that one's up there.
I put mine in, it didn't go through for...
Damn, Bob.
Since I rolled a natural 1, should I put a 1 in there, or just like...
It's still 1 plus the dex.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
1 plus whatever. Yep.
You can't critically fail initiative.
Oh, well, I just did.
Luna, you actually get advantage on initiatives.
I thought I did advantage, but maybe I didn't.
I don't know.
Like on the page, I clicked advantage before rolling initiative.
It may not allow you to do so through that, so you just roll it twice and whatever the highest one is.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't think normally. Actually, I've never heard of advantage on it. No, anyways.
Her
Class, yeah.
Yep.
I assume that's the case. I just hadn't heard of it. Slightly better.
Okay, I'm not seeing Darendils or Topsies. If you know what you roll, just yell it out.
Darendelle 16.
Oh, is that who that is? Does it have the name under him? Next to Shishar?
Yeah,
I was trying to figure out who that was.
Oh, does he not have?
it has it on
It
mine.
shows up.
Yeah. No, I don't see a name,
Okay, hold on.
but that's not a big deal.
Jeez. There we go.
He's the one that's a Quaggoth's body, right?
Yep.
Okay. I thought they were larger.
Well, they're large, but they're still medium sized. Why
Ah,
the
okay.
hell does Bupido keep getting erased? Me too. Stay there.
Did pressing enter? Well, no, I guess you would have.
All right.
Oh, let's see. I guess I'll, let me see.
Jeez,
Am
a
I-
bunch of 22s.
Am I moving at half speed through these people? And
Yep.
can I move to that square right there?
Yep. You can. It's a tight fit, but yeah, you can.
Actually, I'll move if it's... Oh, wait, no, I can't. It won't let me. Oh, yeah, I can. Wait, what the? Oh, I see. I'm gonna move right here. He said it's a high railing, right? So, without the element of surprise, probably not be able to push him, so I'm gonna scratch him.
Okay. That hits.
And then I get sneak attack, right?
Yes. Yep.
It's a Pupido. And he said I did move at half speed, so I would have probably had to dash to do that, right? Actually, yeah, I probably would have had to dash. So I'll just say I dashed.
Okay.
And then I'll move. I'm actually, since I'm dashing, I'm just going to move back here to free up a little bit more room. And then in my turn.
Turvy is going to. Man, he has no movement. Okay.
Yeah, the short races don't have very far. Surprisingly, though, the goblin do.
I'm gonna come up here against the entrance and stealth.
Okay.
And
Roll.
since I have stone camouflage and presumably we have rocky terrain,
Yep.
I should have advantage on that. So
Right.
What do
So
I have
just-
to roll?
Just click on advantage and then roll stealth.
I
think
think
there's
like a stealth. As
Oh,
in-
it's just click
abilities.
Dex then.
Okay. Man, it's rough.
All right.
And I've already moved, so it's
And if you guys don't have the end turn thing, just it should be in that thing too, up at the top.
under collection.
Okay. Torpedo's just gonna, since he was scratching him and he tried to throw him off and that didn't work, he's just gonna punch him in the face.
Okay.
Roll. The
Strength.
Strength or
Yep. That's a miss.
I'm gonna move up, try to get this side of him, and maybe try and push him off again next time.
Okay.
Fly into a rage.
So all I can really do is just like punching, since I have no.
Punch or grapple or try to throw or push.
Could you steal a weapon? Try to attempt to take a weapon? Disarm?
Yep, can do that too.
I doubt she would be.
Oh, yeah, I guess I
able to.
Nah, I'm good with sneak attack damage.
So this is kind of cluttered, and
Do they
as
do-
much as she would like to smash someone, she's gonna leave a little bit of room for others to get clear.
Okay. Drow is going to. Pull out his short sword and attack at Pupido. Against his AC. Which...
I can actually.
It's 13, I think. What's his AC? Yep, so that misses.
I should have tried pickpocketing a sword, huh?
And he's gonna come down this way. So he's leaving you guys. If you want to take attacks of opportunity, Torpedo and Smoke.
Does attack of opportunity still benefit from sneak attack damage? I don't
Nope.
think so, right? Oh yeah, 'cause it's only once per round.
Right.
No, I'm gonna save my reaction. I can't do that
Torpedo.
much damage.
Okay. That's a hit. So it's 1d4
Plus strength.
plus strength. Yep.
Do it on the
What's his strength?
I gets a -1 to strength.
Okay, so he hits 2. And you hear him yelling out something. You also see a Vrock coming in close. And a Chasme coming up behind him.
Shishar's gonna do nothing. Just gonna sit in the cell.
Okay. You may be muted.
What? Oh, it's my turn. Sorry,
Yeah.
I had to refresh my.
Yeah, I think it's lagging out because there's so much on here.
Yeah, there's a lot of tokens.
No, I didn't. I
Yeah,
didn't
it's-
see it.
Most of the tokens shouldn't draw much. Shouldn't like things out that much, I wouldn't think.
Well, there's a lot of stuff behind all of them too.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, because this thing is tearing up my CPU. I'm using 80 to 90% of my CPU. It's being treated in Grand Theft Auto right now.
Dang.
Sheesh.
Don't underestimate what web apps can use.
I'm gonna have to try different browsers and stuff when we're done.
Okay, so I am gonna. Shit. I am not.
That's an action.
Probably not helpful.
It's component.
Really trying to be scary.
Oh, rip my butthole. Okay. Instead, Diana's just gonna move. Let's see. She's just gonna move there, and end her turn.
Okay.
Oh, they forgot they rolled the same thing. So weird. Okay. Topsy, she is nervous and scared, so she's gonna go up to her brother and also kind of like hide up against him with her little camouflage. So do I have to do
Roll
any sort of roll?
Dex with advantage. Yep. Okay.
Cute.
She seems to be more hidden.
Nice. Alright, and I'll just enter.
Alright, I'm going to dash over to here.
Let's
And I'm just gonna do, since this card timer's staying, I'm gonna do an Eldritch Blast on this dude.
Okay. And that's a miss.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna drop two.
So, would he be getting pissed off at it yet, or is he still just kind of, oh?
I don't know. That's up to you.
I mean, I don't know the character. Like, is it just the sight of combat and the stress of it would start flipping him into a...
Yeah, he would get stressed out and stuff just by seeing combat, I would think.
Okay, then I guess I'll flip out. Let me move this back over there. So, let's see. He's got a 30 movement. He's got to move through people. He probably won't be able to make it to anyone. He'll dash, I'm sure, just to get at people. So, the first person you can see... So that's 10... I don't know. So you're supposed to move at half movement through people, right?
Yes.
So that'd be 15 to there. And then that'd be, heck, so that's going to be 30 to go through there. He can move up to 60. So he can probably get up to the guy. If he dashed, but he wouldn't be able to do anything. Just be all pissed off.
Okay.
And that would have been his bonus action, would be dashing, right? Or that would just be that. Does he
That's
have
his
to...
action.
I don't know, because I don't play a warrior, but does it rage count as a bonus action or anything?
Yep, it's a bonus action.
So let's go ahead and make him rage then.
Okay.
It would only make sense.
So you guys see this Quagoth come, kind of slams his hands down on the ground like Hulk, and rushes past you across the rope bridge, stands up in front of the drow, and just raises his hands like he's going to, like he means business. Okay.
Alright.
Is that it?
Yeah. I'm trying to hit in turn, but yeah.
Alright. I gotcha. Alright, then that's all Sereth can do. Sal. I'm assuming you guys aren't seeing your own names in the turn order, are you? Just your NPCs?
It says the NPC, and then it says the person who's controlling it below it.
I mean, in the actual initiative screen.
Yeah, no, just the NPCs for me.
Okay. All right.
Well, I see Click-Clack, actually. That's weird. I just don't see anybody else's.
You probably see your own. Okay.
Alright, sorry, I'm back. So... Huh. Well, now
You hear everybody else hears, oh, you guys are in for something good.
Let's see. So that's a drow up that way that they were messing with, past Shade and Bupita.
Yes. There's a Vrock and a Chasme over there now, too.
Okay. I'm trying to make sure what all I can do. I can't remember. So flight is just regular movement, right? For me, if I choose to do that, it doesn't count as an extra action.
Correct, yes. I think your flight's actually 60 feet.
Right. Or
And that includes up and down and all that, too.
Right.
So.
Or since I'm unarmored, it looks like I can move 35. Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I don't need to fly to get to that guy. So, let me go ahead and go after that guy all the way up there. Moves, go. One more. Come on. There we go. Anyways, let's just go ahead and punch him. I'm
Okay.
good at that. So we'll start with that. I clicked it. I don't know if it's going through. Sorry. Let me
It
check.
hasn't yet.